Okay, so everyone please stand up. So now, please welcome the local committee vice president candidate of AIESEC and CUHK session 2017 to 2018 for talent management.
Good morning, this is Harrison, your LCO EGM candidate for the topic section, and this is my second time to stand here. And first, I think that I must address, I'm grateful for the second chance. It's because I really learned a lot during the period. And firstly, I'd like to thank this person first, because this person has inspired me one thing, is that it is essential to be prepared before every important occasions. And I sincerely think that the candidates in the last EGM are all well prepared except me, and therefore I'm willing to accept my failure last time. And efforts and courage are not enough without purpose and direction. I agree with this a lot. So today, I'd like to introduce what is the purpose and direction for TM first. The purpose and direction for TM first, as according to AIESEC International, is about solving problems, giving solutions, human issues. And I'd like to first introduce what is the measure of success of TM, because it is I've interviewed some members, and they think that TM is only about holding mass meetings and internal communications. But TM is actually more. It's about percentage of membership that's relative, and there are 4 supporting measures of success, that is ISP, NPS retention rate, and also percentage completion of team standards. So I'll not through these one by one. And I'd like to first talk about NPS. NPS is about how willing would you be introducing your experience to others. And unfortunately, this year, I think that NPS is not quite satisfactory, that 2 departments record a negative digit, while only 2 departments record a relatively positive digit. And for ISP, that is AIESEC members going to GB and GP, there are only 6 members registering in our GB program, and no one in GP program. And to solve these problems, actually, let's start with NPS first. Please raise your hands to my following questions. How many of you think that your leaders or members can do better in the job? Please raise your hand. Since everyone thinks so. Yes. But how many of you have actually expressed how can him or her be better? Not everyone, but around half. That's why communication is important in the LC and also in the team. And for TM this year, I think that communication between members and managers are essential. I think according to the NPS result, 6 team members record a mark lower than 6, and the third top 3 issue they expressed is have a stronger purpose, to have a better team bonding, and so a high transparency. And let's first look at the team standards. About goal setting. How many of you remember your goal set when the beginning of the term? Please raise your hand. Okay, only one. And about goal setting, according to global TM analysis, actually it helps in retention rate and also productivity. You can look at the top right-hand corner about the digits, and managers is actually acting a crucial role on it. Therefore, believe in one thing. Managers are those who directly shape a core team member experience. And for the coming session, as a TMVP, I would like to shape an LC that with a reflective and also striving for excellence attitude, that with an LC as one mindset. And the manager's role is crucial not only as a team leader, but also as a role model to demonstrate what actually the AIESEC value is. Therefore, in my manifesto, I stress the importance of having a super confident leadership team by LT empowerment, and as well as we are going to recruit value-aligned talents that is recognized their strengths and can leverage them in their daily work to help us succeed. On the other hand, it is about TM as an active and agile advisor, not only as a passive role to deliver more experience. Yeah.
Okay, so please stand up. So now, please welcome the candidate of Local Committee Vice President of Incoming Global Talent, CUHK Session 2017 to 2018, Sammy Lau.
People who are not attending this EGM are far more than people who are. Do you know that in the branding event held earlier, there was nearly not enough comments? Do you know that in the IGT department meeting in January, there was only 1 of 8 members who is attending? Is that AIESEC in CUHK? Is that a quality that the global leadership possess? Let me tell you a story. There was a man and a pair of brothers who wanted to invent an airplane. And the man was with a lot of resources, money, connections, and also media coverage. But he has no clarity of why he's going to make an airplane. And these brothers, they have no resources at all. However, they have a dream that they would like to have the first aeroplane in the world to enable the people to fly around the world. He has the clarity of why. Yes, you may guess already they are the Wright brothers who made the aeroplane history. And this man even quit after the failure of being the first. The recipe of success should lie on whether you know why you are here. The phenomenon I'm seeing right now is that people in AIESEC and CUHK, they don't know why they're staying here. They keep taking away things and then stand up and go. After 2 months of experience witnessing what AIESEC is and how their function works, they are demotivated. And that's why that EB every year they are very worried that will there be enough managers for the next term? this should not exist in our LC. A recipe of success of AIESEC in CHK should lie on whether we know why we are here. There may be a lot of reasons why you enter this LC. Perhaps you want to enrich your CV. Perhaps you may want to enter a champion society, and AIESEC is happen to be one of the relative champ in CHK, and with beautiful designs. Perhaps you're here because you want to engage with the AIESEC way. No matter what reasons they are, the most important reason that you are staying should be that you are here to lead, to empower. What lead means? The fundamental definition of lead should never just be equipping ourselves, but to empower more and more leaders. And that's why I'm standing here with my mission to spread the impact of empowerment. I was kind of like very questioning about the clarity of why of GT program. And I was like, keep questioning that why GT is chasing number like those sales marketing agents. And then I got a chance to hold this engagement event in March. I asked the EP what GT means to them. And very surprisingly, that one of the EP told me that he wanted to start his NGO in Russia. And that NGO is to help young entrepreneurs to start up their own NGOs. This is the moment that I realized that the empowerment of global talent is actually happening here by letting people know how to accomplish their dreams and how to make their own life routes to spread to the world. This is also why I'm standing here. That I would like to lead to empower and ensure that the effect of empowerment is actually spreading to the world. So this person is making a light bulb himself, and he's going to spread to the world. For AIESEC in CHK and IGT as 1718, let's not forget that we shall never forget that we're here to lead to empower. And then the light, let's make the route brighter by making every single effort to shine in the world. Thank you.
Next candidate. Okay, so please stand up. So let's welcome another candidate of Local Committee Vice President of Incoming Global Talent of AIESEC CHK, session 2017 to 2018, Hilda Yan.
Hi, good morning. I'm Hilda from Outgoing Global Talent. No worries, I'm not going to repeat my speech in the last year. But instead, today I would like to answer some simple questions, but I haven't answered any of them before. So to start off, I would like to tell you one of my greatest experiences in my life so far. Back in 2014, I attended an international congress in Chicago, namely HOBE, Here We Go Brian Youth Leadership World Leadership Congress. And that was my first international exposure, where I got to communicate with people from different nations. Delegates there were mostly Americans. I am very impressed by their genuineness and their openness on talking about their own dreams, ideas, and concerns towards the society and to the world. And then I thought, children who receive Eastern education won't be able to do such kind of thing. But surprisingly, 2 years later, I felt similar energy level and similar passionate level in a very special place. And then there was the induction conference in October. So here comes the first question. Why AIESEC? Apparently this is the most popular question that is asked for each candidate. I appreciate how this place attracts people who have their own beliefs, no matter how they seem to be big or small, to come here. It pushes people to work hard, not just for themselves, but for building a better world and for empowering others. These are the reasons why I love this place. And the second question is, why LCPP? One of my greatest beliefs is one's life impacting others, some way. And I ambition to lead people who can do the same with me, to empower and to bring positive impact to our peers. And I wish that only by being an LCPP, I could put my plans into actions and to lead all my peers to reach our goals together. So, why IGT? When collecting opinions from members, including one sitting here, I'm not here today, I really know what IGT is working for. But then I didn't either 2 months ago. But then after being in the task force, I realized there are actually many bottlenecks encountered by this department in this year. First, it is the wrong trust by our companies. The second one is the inadequate tracking work done by managers and VP. And the third one is the declining motivation of members due to monotonous work and inadequate training. So therefore, I've come up with 3 focus areas which can tackle the aforementioned bottlenecks. The first one is the consistent tracking and follow-ups. And the second one is developing sub-products for our global talent program. And the third one is the quality member experience. And then GT is actually a very valuable program. And I have worked for this program at the home side this year, and I would wish to work for it in the host side in the upcoming section. So please raise as many concerns as possible in the upcoming Q&A sections. Thank you.
Okay, next candidate. Okay, so everyone please stand up. Let's welcome the candidate of Local Committee Vice President of Outgoing Global Talent of AIESEC CUHK session 2017 to 2018, Nicholas Lowe.
So, hey, good morning, everyone. And I'm Nicholas, and I'm here to run for the LCPP of OGT in the coming year. So let's get started by something about my own first. In the past 3 years, I'm really different actually from the one you see right now. And I was probably one of the most rebellious and naughtiest person around for. And I was such a 24 person like this one. Not show anything actually, and there are other examples. Besides the school rules, I put quite a lot of things actually, including the window of my classroom and also the head of my classmates. And this image is fine at the beginning, but later on it's caused quite a lot of problems. Because I find it really very difficult to express myself as well as my own worries. And under such concern, as every classmate and every of my friends assume that I should be the one with the most positive energy and with least worries among their circle. And when I got to university, and more importantly to AIESEC, things started to get a bit more different. Because I entered into a whole new community of people, while people here are so caring, friendly, and supportive. Under such environment, I was able to express myself in a better way and truly become myself here, and also to try something new in order to become a better me. And the connections here is definitely the thing that I treasure most here, because it enables me to truly become myself. And exposures and connections here is also the thing that I really appreciate and treasure. So there's actually another thing that I really motivate me to stay here. This is Gabriel Asuncion from the WhatsApp conference. In the WhatsApp conference, I asked him why can you deliver so many good stories and motivate others? And he answered me this way. He said, Nicholas, you can always pick up stories in different kinds of content, but you can never make up the passion in it. Start to reflect that if my journey here is already completed, then I should have the ability not just to receive a story from others, but also to express my experience and also inspire others. At that moment, I know that my journey here is only half done here, or maybe less. And there's also one more question, like why OGT? In order to consolidate my answer towards this question, I in fact talked to different EPs and also different leaders of this program before. And after talking to them, I found out 3 common specialties among all those EPs and participants of this program, which are professional knowledge, new self-understanding, and more importantly, global insight. From my belief, I do believe that these 3 elements will be crucial in order to sustain the cutting edges of Hong Kong people in the coming global community in the coming future. Therefore, I decided to run for the LCP of OGT because I want to promote the value in this program and also to spread the influence of this program to others. If my original home is the place that I grow up physically till now, and I do believe that AIESEC could be the second home that I grow up spiritually and mentally. And this is the reason why I'm running for LCPP and also for OGT this year. Thank you.
Candidate, please be seated. At time 10:15, Chairperson received procedural motion number 8, which said the first round of question and answer session for the local committee vice president candidates is conducted. May I have a proposer? Chairperson in second, Brian Chair will propose to speak for the motion. Waive second, waive any general comment. If no, motion passed unanimously. Okay, so here's the format for the Q&A session. So each of you can ask one question and one follow-up question. And follow-up question will be, the priority will be given to the person who asked the original question. And candidate, you will have 30 seconds to think before your answers. And candidate has 1 minute to answer the question. And so remember to observe the standing order, and also Chairperson reserves rights to discard any inappropriate or irrelevant questions. And also, if you find that the candidate misunderstood your question and you want to clarify, or the candidate you don't understand the question that has been asked, so you can do this sign. This shows point of clarification, and I will let you guys to do the clarifications. And so remember, the objectives for the Q&A session, is for you to understand the future directions of AIESEC in CUHK that proposed by the candidates, and also to understand more about the candidates, maybe their leadership qualities and their personal characters. And also, this Q&A session is to better prepare the candidates for their future role. And we have shared the Q&A minutes for today's Q&A session to all of you. So feel free to comment on the or maybe ask more questions in the minutes so that the comment can be checked by the candidates later on. And so we will start the Q&A session. New question, Brian Chen.
Just now, thank you, Chairperson. Just now, all of you have mentioned training. So I know that trainings are important for your members. So tell me what kind of training that you will provide for your members in the coming year.
Time's up. Hello, Yan.
Thank you, Chairperson. So I'm going to have three main trainings for my members. The first one is the sales and pitching skills training workshop, which is a synergy with PR, and we will invite externals and alumni as guest speakers and coaches who will coach our members on sales and being a salesperson. And the second one is the company meeting simulations. And we will invite outstanding alumni for teaching them how to operate successful company meetings. And the fourth one is preparing for the incoming preparation seminar, IES. As I believe, organizing event is also one of the greatest training for our members, for them to learn how to organize and how to deliver our values to our meetings. So this is the main three training and workshops that I will provide.
Samina.
Thank you, Chairperson. I will also want to have three kinds of training. But firstly, the one that will be collaborating with PR, that is inviting the external or alumni to come here, is to give each trainings and also industry insight training. And by LT, they will give the standards training to the members of how to perform to 100% standards. And the reason why I'm adding the industry insights training into the next section is because when I'm going to meet the IT community and the IT communities, I may not know a lot of technical terms and what's the current trend of IT industry or even the marketing industry. And that way, for understand more about how the market trend and industry goes, I'll be able to communicate understand what talents they will be looking for. So I think yes.
Harrison Mack.
Thank you, Chairperson. I think for talent management, the training will be in three types. The first one is about coping skills and also emotion management. This is because in the comment section, I would like to train members as with coaching skills in order to equip them with conducting PDTs on our members. Secondly, it's about session delivery skills. Because in my plan, I wish TM members will be able to deliver at least one session to each department per semester, focusing on soft skills like team bonding and emotional management. And third one will be event management skills. Because there are a lot of events to be held by TM, like formal meeting, mass meeting, and so on. And I think event management skills is essential for TM members.
Nicholas Law.
Chairperson, I will, as plan for OGT, I would like to emphasize both soft and hard skills training for the members. And for the soft skills like knowledge about knowledge about AIESEC, I would like to cooperate with TM in introduce and teach them different kinds of software that could be useful for presentation. And more importantly, for the insight of the industry, I like to define different teams, like when they consult with the EP, I like to define them in different teams like education, IT, and also business. And in order to teach, give them different information inside the industry so that they can use those information when they consult with the EPs so that they become positive opinion to them. So I like to combine those the functional work and the training and to the members and students.
Any follow-up question?
Yes.
Rajan.
Thank you, Chairperson. For Sammy and Nicholas, tell me one alumni that you would invite for your training section. Hilda, what is a good salesperson in your mind? Harrison, what is an ideal PDT? Ideal picture of PDT.
Time's up. Candy. EGM.
Thank you, Chairperson. So, in my definition, a good salesperson needs to be competent, very familiar with the content of the program, and especially in cold call and company meetings, they need to equip themselves with elevated vision skills, which means that they know how to present the most important content of the program, and then both as the most attractive selling point to our customer, and then they can know how to pitch them in a very short period of time. Like in cold call, we only have 30 seconds to 50 seconds of duration. So they need to be very familiar with the content, and they also need to believe in the program so that they can really persuade our customers. What is the advantage?
Time's up. Harrison Mac.
Thank you, Chairperson. The ideal picture of PDT in my mind involves four steps. The first one is evaluation. And for TM members to go up PDT, I think the first thing he or she should do is to know how is the current situation of the like his or her. How do he or she feel about the current situation? Because we are going to adopt performance with you, this will be more personal on the member's personal development. And after evaluation, there is elaboration to know about why the root cause and reflection performance.
Time's up. Sammy now.
The alumni I will invite is Tony Fong because he's a venture capitalist that is to fund those startups and decide which startup they should give funding to. And he is very familiar with the current trend of startups and also the IT industry. And that's why, when I talk about some current trend of IT, and he will answer very quickly that he knows everything about startups and IT. So I think it must be appropriate person to be educated in accurate knowledge of startups because I think it will be one of the focus markets.
Time's up. Nicholas Lowe.
Thank you, Chairperson. In order to enhance the skills mentioned to the members before, I would like to invite Mr. Ferdinand to the workshops and also to the trainings to the members. And there are mainly two reasons. The first reason is Mr. Long is now engaged in social innovation, and he has a lot of insight of different industries like technology and also business. He also worked with people before. And another reason is that for the pitching and presentation skills, when he is in the university, he was in charge of more than 5 societies at that time, and those societies only have members, and after his term, those 3 of the societies become the society with probably the most members in the university at that time. Therefore, I think the pitching skills and also the insight of the industry allows him to be a really suitable person to do all the training with him.
New question. Turn one.
Thank you, Chairperson.
So for Hilda and Sammy, I saw you mentioned pre-matching in your manifesto. Can you tell us the advantage of doing pre-matching and what are the problems with pre-matching we are doing now? And then for Harrison, you mentioned productivity as your main MOS. Can you tell us why are the members that are not productive now? Like, why are they not productive? And then for Nicholas, in your opening speech, you mentioned GT is like very good in terms of sharpening a person's competitive edge. Then why are the number of GT applicants still so like single digit, like throughout the years?
Sammy now.
Thank you, Chair. The advantage for pre-matching will be the conversion rate from base to matching will be higher because the company is going to pay the deposit when signing GPA. But when we are not having a certain company of having that signed digitally first, they will be more willing to proceed to the matching line. Let us to have some CV of the candidates first, and then to let the company see whether the candidates are suitable. And for the
Time's up. Say that again.
Thank you, Chairperson. We are finding how coding for matching is to raise the attention and interest of our customers, companies to our program. And it provides a chance for us to prove that we do have the ability to provide solutions for them. So by doing pre-matching, meanwhile also building partnerships with foreign LCs, we aim to collect as much CVs as we can in order to build a good CV profile for us to sell to companies. And then as priority is given to EVs from our partner LCs, and we have prior communication with them. And then we hope to match the EVs from the few schools that we have partnered to our opportunities. And then this can help to raise the match rate, help to increase the conversion rate of raise and match and the numbers of raise match awareness.
Harrison.
Thank you, Chairperson. I think for the main reason that the productivity is not satisfactory this year, firstly, it's about the clarity of why some of the members are not clear, especially after the induction. We do not have sufficient follow-up on whether they get deep understanding of the full picture. As I have interviewed some of the members, they think that their team leaders did not show the big picture to them. And then on the other hand, it's about team standards are not fully implemented by the team leaders, as some of the team leaders do not recognize this as an important guideline to facilitate their learning and development of their members. That's why the ownership of member is not really good for this year and contributes to a low volume.
Nicholas Law.
Thank you, Chairperson. There are two main reasons for why the applicants of the GT program, the number of applicants is so limited right now. First one is duration. As we all know, the duration of GT program usually are like half year and also to 1.5 years. And this duration can hardly fit into the studying schedule of the global student. Students mostly prefer to go for this kind of program in summer. And in order to fit this time slot, the only GE, the global entrepreneur, is available for them. While the offer of GE is limited as well as it is mainly concentrated in India, Egypt, and recently Greece. And the second reason is the offers of the local number of local offers is just so rich that students can easily match to local companies' internship for them. And as local offers are quite standard for productivity, and also the location and time also fits that studying curriculum.
Any follow-up question, Darren Bond?
Thank you, Chairperson. So for Sammy, you mentioned pre-matching is to increase the conversion rate. So I look at your manifesto. You had raised as 30 and matched at 17. So can you explain this conversion if you do pre-matching? And then for Hilda, you had sub-product as one of your strategies. Can you explain why did you come up with this idea and suggest one potential sub-product you want to develop? Nicholas, so let's say if you have to do 10 GT applicants next year, how will you do it? For Harrison, if productivity is a lag measure, can you suggest 2 lead measures to increase the productivity of members?
Hilda Yan.
Thank you, Chairperson. So the idea of sub-product is actually based on cross-stack of communities. And I wish to focus on few fields of communities, and I can split my team in focusing just one particular type of community. And then one of my suggestions will be designing a cultural creative industry. Due to my research, it is the top value-added industry in Hong Kong nowadays. And then for the LCW partner, it can be MIU, which is the science school rank world 22, and then MUS ranking 27, SMU ranking 40, and Urban U ranking 37. And these can be potential LCs which we can build partnership with, and then we can advocate our GP program in building partnerships with designing companies.
Person Mag.
Thank you, Chairperson. For the 2 lead measures that helps enhance productivity, the first one is TM has responsibility to make sure that a full induction is implemented, especially to ensure every member has personal goal setting fulfilled. Because as according to global team analysis, sufficient goal setting that is aligned with organization goals actually enhance productivity by 6 to 8% as shown in my opening speech. And how to ensure this is constantly practiced on performance reviews. Because for VP to manager and manager to member, performance review is very important because it helps to know why the performance of the member goes like this. And it actually provides solutions for members to enhance their productivity in different ways. As, for example, to know whether the job nature is suitable for his strengths, when his strengths is
Thumbs up. Okay. Samina.
Thank you, Chairman. As you mentioned that my goal here, it may not be done according to pre-matching, because that now in the task force we do pre-matching, but then I can see that in this farm page is that the contract sign-up rate is very low. That if the account cannot be matched, then the contract sign-up rate is gone also. So based on this number, I'm predicting the task force situation, like now the account that pre-matching is 9, and the account that's matched is matching is 5. So from 9 to 5 is nearly half of the numbers, and then for my goal is also raised to match 30, 70 is nearly half of the numbers.
Cosmo.
Thank you, Chairperson. Not just that, the number of pieces of organization, there are 3 focusing strategies to implement it. First, we wanted to enhance the EP that we raise and for the program. We will optimize by offering our services to other universities like in order to, because students that do not have that much exposure to the local internship programs offered by university. And in order to keep the EP interested and also keep them attached to the program, and I will develop a more comprehensive guideline for the EPs to EPM to contact with the EPs order to let them know, let the EPs know what's happening with the opportunities offering, and also to keep them interested in the program. And also, in order to enhance the probability for EPs to match them, there will be more comprehensive partnership reform for analysis in order to enhance the probability that our EPs will be matched to their opportunities. So this will be our focusing strategy in order to enhance the probability.
New question. Brian Chen.
Thank you, Chairperson. Team bonding and establishing a good relationship is very important. So situation. How would you describe your relationship with members? A, brother and younger brother or sister. B, principal and teachers. C, boss and your subordinates. I choose one of them. Subordinates. Your colleagues.
Remember to hear that again.
Boss and your subordinates. Subordinates.
Time's up. Candidate. Thank
you, Chairperson. I will choose principal and teachers, as I believe this relationship includes respect and a common goal inside. While a boss is subordinate, the boss only give out orders, but then the subordinates need not to understand the reason behind it. So if my members and managers are teachers, and they will have their own ideas, they can present to the principal, and then they can negotiate to reach a common goal, and then to execute our plans to work out our people. So I think the principal and teachers, this kind of relationship is the best relationship.
Candidate. Nicholas Law.
Thank you, Chairperson. I will use brothers and sisters to describe my relationship between my members. There's mainly two reasons. The first reason is that the status and powers of the brothers and sisters is not that differentiated among them because they are among similar level and they respect each other as well as mentioned previously. And there's no such kind of and this raises the power of government knowledge among members as well. And the second one is that there are strong mutual support among brothers and sisters. Because in the department, the function work is pretty new to most of the members, and we get to go quite often. And support from other members is just like support differently in the brothers and sisters. They support each other and try to improve the performance of each other. So I think brothers and sisters could be best for describing this relationship.
Sammy
Thank you, Chairperson. I will also choose the B choice, that is teachers and principal, because I think principal is a bit with more experience and more knowledgeable, and he can teach the teachers what the experience he had. And also principal is one with more authority that it's adequate amount of authority that the members or the teachers will listen to. And then I will be quite understanding principle because I have to firstly understand the difficulties that the members are facing, and then to adjust and motivate them accordingly. Because it is the key to leading them to their personal goals and also to leading them to the common goal at the same time.
Emerson Mac.
Thank you, Chairperson. I'll also choose principal and teachers. Because firstly, for brothers and sisters and boss and subordinates, actually for these two pairs, they can have different goals or different aims. But I think that for principal and teachers, their only aim is to educate students, in which the difference between principal and teachers is one is responsible for the discretionary stuff, and one is responsible for the executional stuff. And while teachers is implementing some critical things, they can get feedbacks and then to improve the vision, like to guide the team on the correct path. And as when they're in different positions with the same goal, I and my team can get a more comprehensive view on what actually how TM is working or affecting development.
Any follow-up question?
Yes. Thank you, Chairperson. So, team bonding event is very important, and then dinner gathering is too mainstream. So, tell me one team bonding event that can be linked to the SDG goal that you will organize.
Time's up, candidates. Person Mike.
Thank you, Chairperson. I think for my team bonding event is like a CEO. I would like to hold a plan for distributing lunch boxes to those in poverty in some third world. That I think it somehow echoes to the poverty. And why I think this is a team bonding event is because as an AIESEC, we should get to know more about the society. And as youth, I think this event helps to let my members know how is youth able to help the society. And on the other hand, they can talk to those who are in need to directly feel what is needed to society so that we can take our members' experience around what society needs. And especially when we are doing the same thing together as a leader, my manager as a leader, we are all on the same level to serve those who are in need. And this can pass for team bonding.
Time's up. Is that Yan?
Thank you, Chairperson. So I would suggest bringing my team to Bologna to cook for the beggars and then to pack their lunch boxes and to deliver to them. And this might host an SDG of 0. And this can remind them how many people are actually in starvation, basically. And then after voluntary work, and everybody is able to have dinner with all our food finished. And then I think this can align their attention towards the starvation problem facing by
Tell me now.
Thank you, Chairperson. The team bonding event I'm going to break down into holistic thoughts movements. Because I was an art ambassador this year, and then through the events of visiting some Muslims in Hong Kong, especially some Pakistanians living in Oklahoma, and I understand that some situations of those minority groups are happening, and this contributes to the ethical and illegal of eliminating discrimination, and also which also links to AIESEC value of diversity.
Nicholas Law.
I think our team can organize activities for those members of the centers support for most of the communities are like less privileged students. I think offering such activities can help them with experience and learning outside the school. And this links to the reduce qualities of SDGs. And as a team bonding event, it's also allow us to go deliver something besides some work. As we work for pitching and also consultation in daily work. And I think experiencing a new kind of activities can also help to enhance the mutual understanding of
New question. So just a reminder, I will be drafting the question list at 11:25, which means that only one question can be asked at that time, and no follow-up question can be asked. Okay, new question. Shall I send you?
So comparison is the necessity of like keep on talking about the alignment, and then how you define them and measure if a person is well aligned with the mindset. And then for Sammy and also for you guys, like we both mentioned about summer raising task force, but then in summer we have got about planning and LT they have to run to do. How can you convince the LT team or for the team to work with you to do the raising? And then for Nicholas, you you wrote that quality, but then just from March to April, there's 9 people who sign up for people who just only choose GP. So, like, how you get this number 40, and how do you believe that from this 40 you can convert to the certificate and realize the same? How do you do it?
Yes, again.
So first explain how the question IGT is leading to the entity. Because we, in recent years, we have facing crisis happening on IGT. So as to avoid the current situation of not passing the LT criteria up to now, so we need to set a risk guard for time. So I think this can be persuasive to upcoming managers, and we just need to tell them the truth that we need to pass the IGT criteria as soon as possible, so as to further develop other functional work and to provide more resources to their functioning area in the later term.
Seminar.
Thank you, Chairperson. On top of what you guys just said, like it's not a choice for them to not do some of this, because the LC standards and verification that you have to pass. I would like to give them a sense that we are going to try something new next year, and before giving them to letting members experience new things, LT must be very realized what we are going to do for the next 4 years. For example, I'm going to implement new strategies such as data management and also to engage with business communities to do racing. And also I will open new markets like exporting, logistics, tourism. And these markets must have to be tried before giving the members to do racing.
Person next.
Thank you, Chairperson. In order to assess the further alignment, I will focus on the student assessment center. And in it, actually 2 parts will be conducted. Like the first one is challenging task for the group. It is aiming to investigate whether they have key mindset and also how they see challenges as opportunities. And afterwards, actually, I would be investigating on their personal experience, like ask them to share a story about themselves, and it is about their failure. It's to assess whether they are genuine enough and how effective they are. And I would like to also investigate whether they would have a mindset of doing better next time, to strive for excellence, and to try to improve themselves as much as possible.
Nicholas Law.
Sir, I would like to ask a question on first why won't sign up. There are mainly 2 reasons. First one is going to the new implementation of the customer mentioned before, we are engaged market of CUHK, and also we are planning to make more expansion to the engineering school in the future. So owing to the expansion of the market, there will be more people sign up for it. And the second part of the question is why liberalization? There is this actually mentioned before, the market expansion, the partnership with one LC, and also the adjustment for the progress of the
Time's up. Any more questions? Shanta Sandy.
There is mention like LC form meeting, LC mass meeting, and also LC working space. Like there's 3 things will be happening in 1 month. But then how can you ensure people will come and like what's the difference between these 3 things? And because you can see that throughout the year, the simulation rate is like decreasing. And then for students, can you tell me one thing which your manifesto is better than the announcement, and one thing you think we can improve, like compared to the other thing. And for Nicholas, can you tell me why people need to choose GT instead of other program like GM?
One clarification from Nicholas.
Can you repeat the last few choose GT1?
Why people need to choose GT instead of other internship programs like, for example, GM?
Time's up. Here I am.
So one thing that I think I have done better than Sammy is I have addressed on planetary preparation, which is the standard score, and that must be fulfilled in the comment section. So I have special address on that. But then for improvement, I think that she has mentioned linking and management and the virtual racing channel and the virtual connection channel. It's also very interactive, and I appreciate how she put that into her manifesto.
Harrison Mack.
Thank you, Chairperson. For 3 activities in 1 month, I think that on the first I would think that it would be more flexible, like for exam period, but that would not be LCM and working space would not be that outlet as open our exam. And how to ensure the attendance rate in the first week is about to have a better planning for members. Because this year, all events are published in a quite rush manner that members do not have space for them to attend. And therefore, LC calendar will be adopted every month, and they will be released half a month before in order to let members to plan their events better. And then for job description, it would be an obligation for them to attend every formal meeting and more than 80% of mass meeting. And team leader actually serves a very important role model because I think this year actually for team leaders attendance is not that too. And that's why I think a common for LPS one
Sammy Lau.
The one thing that I think I may be comparing to that is that I have some new strategies for racing because we are both are very high. That racing race, the number rate is almost nearly 3,000% higher than the thing that we're doing now. And I think we have this growth mindset and growth disruption. We must have some innovation strategy
New question. Justin Chiu. Oh, sorry, Nicholas.
Thank you, Chairperson. There are a few reasons that why each program operates other GIP program. The first one is responsibility of student the destination and also more importantly, the duration of the program. As the other GIP programs always offer like a duration of the program within a quarter. And in the G program, students can choose the program more than 1 year and less than 1.5 years. And secondly, is the support offered by the entity and also entity. Other GIP programs mainly rely on the support and other resources provided by the discipline themselves, not the resources provided by the other entities. And the last one is the emphasis on reflection and also self-awareness. As other GIP programs mostly emphasize on the functional experience of the participants, but G program also emphasize on like how EP reflect on themselves and how they reflect on
Thumbs up. New question, Justin Chiu.
Can you all share one good case practice in terms of functional operations from any LCs specific to your department?
Hilda Yan.
Thank you, Chairperson. One of the good case practices will be the IC of the previous year, as they have removed the highest realization number now. And they have two managers. One of them is very engaged in sales and going to compete, and the other one is very familiar with the back office job. So I think the manager who is very good at sales and going to communities have done a very good shadow for their members, so that they can, by job shadowing, their members can learn from managers, and as well as the manager can help boost the exchange business and experiences.
Nicholas Low.
I'll use the case practice of Run and MCP of GT this year as a case practice. As in this term, there is
Point of clarification.
Meaning like the performance, LC performance is like 2 years ago. Okay. And with the realization number of 6, there is two really good practice of Run and football. So the first one is a really practice lesson. The number 4 is in 2 years ago, like Run already abandoned like most of the recruitment talks and just get directly in contact with the EPs and offer like more tailor-made consultation with the EPs. And another good practice is the diffusion of the sales. Run to despite the team to pass like one is the pitching and one is the consultation. And members have like much richer knowledge in these two aspects and making them able to offer a more tailor-made customized consultation and feedback to the EPs, and the EPs feel really connected to the program, and as a result, there is like quite a significantly high numbers in getting at the end of it.
Time's up. Sammy Lau.
I will also have UST as a good case practice, as they are really raising and matching very well in terms of the raising and matching utilization numbers. For raising, that they are in the preparation, before the preparation of our communities, they are bringing CVs to the companies, which these are not directly CVs. And this can enhance the motivation of the company of recognizing our talent, because those CVs we are bringing is like high profile and suitable to the talents they are looking for. And for the pre-matching, they have the preview and JQ that actually have a internship as one of my key characters.
Time's up. Harrison.
For good case practice in here, I'll choose this year for Hong Kong use LC marketing because in one of the ACM of Hong Kong View, it involves not only EM members as organizers, but also members from other departments. And I think that this is good for EM in the coming years because I think class meet should not be limited to only EM members to organize, but actually adding other members in the OCT can firstly involve other members from the department, and also members from other departments can actually engage their colleagues to come to the LC.
Jasmine Chin.
Thank you, Chairperson. Can you now summarize the good case practice that another candidate has just shared? So so Sandy, you'll be sharing Nicholas, Nola, you'll be sharing Harrison's good case practice, and vice versa. There.
Point of clarification from here, Dr.
So do not comment to summarize the good case practice that the person has to share.
Time's up. Hear it again.
Thank you, Chairperson. Harrison had just shared the good case practice of Hong Kong organizing class meetings for their members and for their LC, and they adopt a OC system which involves other members from other departments, and then they can have more knowledge towards CM, and then they can be more engaged in the last process.
Candidate. Harrison back.
Chairperson, I have to apologize that I didn't really focus on what you mentioned.
Candidate. Nicholas Low.
For Sammy, she mentioned the good practice of EGM for IGT. And she mentions that the IGT or UST this year is bringing safety to the company business model to increase the interest and also the effectiveness of the company meeting as the customers will directly know that what talents and resources are offered by the IGT or UST and to show the future picture of the whole program. And Samuel also mentioned that she included this item in her own manifesto and started doing a similar strategy.
Sammy Lau.
I hear that Nicholas is going to learn from the good case practice that the good case practice of CLC 2 years ago.
New question. Shantan.
Tell us your personal vision of it.
Time's up. Hear it again.
Chairperson, I envision myself after 10 years would have found a meaningful job with great such. And then
candidates. Harrison Mack.
Thank you, Chairman. My personal vision after 10 years is contribute to society by developing views like actually what AIESEC is doing. But my position would be more like a consultant towards NGO or social enterprises. Yes.
Sammy Lau.
Thank you, Chairman. My personal vision will be that I have a job that I'm very passionate in, and every day I wake up, I will be very happy to go to work. And this is also that these 10 years I have to establish myself and introduce myself into the job very focused and to like some achievements in the job. And also I want to be an inspiring person that is affecting people. And in this case, I will be thinking how my job can be related to the world and contribute to the society.
Nicholas Lowe.
My aim is to enhance the social and occupational mobility of teenagers under 10 years. And before that, like in the coming 5 and 8 years of preparation, I try to establish my own enterprise, own business, and also get connected to different kinds of sectors, different sectors in the market. And after that, after 10 years, and I will try to engage more in the social innovation, which means that we provide relevant connections and recommendations for our firms to the teenagers. If the teenagers is interested in like environmental technology, we can recommend similar contacts and also relationships in order to accelerate their career and also to help them to stabilize the mobility.
Any follow-up question? Shannon.
So if you are elected, will you consider taking next step? If you are elected, will you consider taking next step?
Point of clarification from Hilda.
In the 18, 19 or
Beyond that, let's
Time's up. Harrison Mack.
Thank you, Chairperson. As in year 2019, I will be going to Japan for exchange, and I think for that I will be see if I have a possibility to join as the national supporting organization in Japan, because I think that overseas exposure is a key component in ICE experience, and I think that being one of the national support team in ICE can actually broadens my horizons on actually how other countries do ICE work, and it helps me on my ICE plan that I may actually consider for MCVP role after my graduation.
Sammy Lau.
Thank you, Chairperson. My vision of myself as an 18 and 19, I will be staying here alone, although I'm already a year 4 nursing student. But I will consider that I'm staying here as an MCP or an MCVP alone. Because I think in every role that I will have new challenges and new learnings. And I am here to contribute my learnings to the MC or LC, so that the things that I learned is not only to take away, but to give and let every member in the MC or MC to have the same positive impact and positive experience as
Hilda Yan.
Thank you, Chairperson. So if I'm elected, I will be entering the sample of IT, and then I can observe how the MC works, and I will explore the other functional areas of AIESEC or other foreign entities, and then I will further consider what I can contribute to AIESEC in the next sections.
Because so.
Thank you, Chairperson. That is to answer properly, as there is a planning not to stay in Hong Kong after 1 to 1.5 years. And this is the case, and my plan would be similar to Harrison mentioned previously. And regardless to this factor, like mentally, well, my answer will be similar to my opening speech, as in my belief there is a high possibility for staying, as a computer training is not just about how much you receive, but your ability to deliver your experience and also experience others. In order to achieve like what I mentioned, which is most of my personal vision, there is a real high possibility for staying because of that factor mentioned previously.
New question. John Lan.
Thank you, Chairperson. So can you give one quality that you are lacking currently, which hinder you from being the best version of yourself, and what action steps will you take to improve on that quality? Thank you.
Time's up. Send it down.
I think one quality I'm lacking is that I may not be very assertive enough to deal with some troublesome matters of the and for the actions that I'm going to do is that I'm going to set standards for my job, and if the members or LP are violating these standards, they are not conforming, I will definitely let them know that this is not okay. If they are continuing with the troublesome attitude, I will be letting them know that this is not member or LP asset that should process, and they better consider leaving.
Person Mac.
Thank you, Chairperson. I think the quality, one of the qualities I like right now is about prioritization. I often do not make my priorities right and focus on the most important work. And my action steps to improve this is about to confirm in the important aspects, so confirm my personal goals and find one thing that I actually would like to pursue and let go of others. And from the micro perspective, it is on to identify which are the most important things, rather than the things that is rushed. Because sometimes rush things are not that important. And I would do those important things first, rather than rush them. In the perspective of not clear deadlines.
To the end.
Thank you, Chairperson. So we always emphasize that we need to be bigger step by global citizens, and I think I don't have a wide enough global horizon. And then I think I can do more sharing with my students and be more attention to local news. And then I can also hold lecturing sessions with my students to stimulate vision for hearing more about the world and to further develop how can we contribute to society.
Nicholas Low.
I believe the quality that I'm lacking most right now is time management, because in this year I find that the high diversity of work and workload really like stop me from really investing in like every aspect that I'm engaged in. And in order to improve this situation, I believe the focus and work of my myself with a maximum of 3 in the coming year and also thereafter. And in the coming year, to be conservative, I only put 2 focus in the coming year. One is the first mindset, the second one would be university of serious thing. So one more space is for conservative things be for the time.
Any more question? John?
Mr. Chairperson, which of the following do you think is more important for a leader, being likable or being respected?
Seminar?
Chairperson, I think it must be being respected is more important than likable, because likable can be at this party and possessed by anyone, not only a leader, and such as friends. But being respected is that you are bringing the meaning of AIESEC by role modeling, and through inspiring and empowering your members, you'll be able to develop and to become a leader. And they must be, in order to become a respected leader, you must be performing your functions well and to inspire your leaders. And I want them to be that kind of person to light up the impact.
Because no?
I think as a leader, being respected is more important. I would like to use women in India as an example. The trend and the movement in society may not be favorable for women there to be likable at the time. Because for women leaders in India, they are striking for equality and also women empowerment. And in their society, they are not affected by the normal society and also men in the society as well. So I think, especially when we emphasize that much on change as a leader, I think the situation may not enable us to be so likable at that time. But if we are doing the right thing in order to make a better future, we will be respected. And this is one of the most important values as a leader. As a leader, we have to ensure that what we are doing right now is right for the current situation and also for the future.
Thank you, Chairperson. So I agree what Samia said, that a good leader must be a good role model. And being respected is far more important than being likable. And facing the situation of delegating jobs that the members may not be good at, if you are being a likable leader, you will just follow their own will, and this may not provide as much learning as they can get from their high potential. So being a respectful leader, you will explain the reasons behind and encourage them to do the things that they have aspired to. So being respectful is more important.
Harrison Mike?
Thank you, Chairperson. I also agree that being respected is more important than being likable. And I think that being likable is about for now. If a leader is being likable to our team members, the team bonding may be superficially better, but the leader would have to make concessions and trade authenticity for members' approval. And actually, I think that this respect for leaders, it means a leader and also as a role model, as the person said, just to lead the team as a role model. And if he cannot establish the members' respect towards him, and it makes some people look like if the leader is likable by, and the team would have something that they like, but for some members, they don't like the team culture. They would not be able to voice out because most majority of the team thinks that they like this. So it actually gives us a member.
Time's up. Your question. Really loud.
So the first question is and what are your initiatives that you are 100% confident for starting at least 2 extra batching before the new term starts? That is the first July.
One clarification from Sandy.
Okay, so I repeat the question again. So this question will be only for exchange partners. What are your initiatives that you are 100% confident for having 2 extra batching before the new term starts? That is the first of July. Thank you.
Do it again.
Thank you, Chairperson. So I'm initiated to build new partnerships with foreign LCs, and I think this can help contribute to more matches, more numbers of matches. Because currently we have leads and opportunity providers that we are now contacting in the past month we're working for. So if we build partnership with the LC in this month, which is May, and then they can provide their EVs for us, and then we can show that those bunch of OTGs to our opportunity providers. And I hope this can help to raise the national number before the
Sammy Lam.
The 100% confident to have 2 extra matching is that firstly, we are having 5 accounts of pre-matching, and I will continue this result of IT task force and make sure that the follow-up work is not enough. Because pre-matching may not be necessary to match, but I'm going to ensure that the accounts are going to match. And furthermore, we are holding the OUHK account, so they are going to have 4. They want 4 those hire for the Hong Kong. So I'm going to ensure that by September, the EVs are going to start their work.
Nicholas Low.
In order to ensure two more matchable or realization before the next conference, 2 mediation, as I was required to have 3 more after the first meeting. And the first one is to gather the previous people interested in the program and do follow-ups. Some students sign up in the OK, but it's not that follow-up. It's not follow-up immediately after they have signed up. And we follow them and try to, they start to apply for different programs and there are selected programs for them. And the second method, the second is to boost the partnership programs like the offers offered by Apple in Shanghai. Because the second round of the program just started and the applicants of this program is also increasing per moment. And there is high possibility for most of them, for a part of them to be matched by this program. And number to exceed 2 after the program.
Time's up. Any follow-up questions from me?
So there will be they should like say one thing that you can learn from investors and investors, and one thing that your competitor can learn from your investor. And finally, for EGM, can you explain because you have your EV fab to be or in an EV may have some facilitated skills training or so what do you think that this kind of skills can actually contribute to the success needed in your manufacturing?
Clarification from Harrison.
How the EV could facilitate the things I mentioned or
Yes. So what the skills can actually contribute to success?
for my EV colleagues.
Clarification from Seminal.
You mean that without referring to manifesto that cannot mention
Without looking into
Thumbs up. Seminal.
The one thing that I should love to ensure is that she has to self-focus area gatekeeping the standards of realizing the and I didn't put so much focus on realization because I had some I will be focusing more on basic as this year I think basic is the key to the exchange number. And then for tracing, I have suggested some new strategies for such as engaging with the business community, such as cyberpods, Factory of Hong Kong, other industries that are related to the target industry that we are looking for. And also, I have a LinkedIn management, which is a new initiative to engage with the external in a professional way.
Thank you, Chairperson. So I think I can learn from Sammy is she has mentioned the instant JQ completion into her manifesto, and this helps facilitate the pre-match process. And what I have mentioned before, I've emphasized more on building international relations in my manifesto. And I think this is one of the ways to bring support EPs and CPs to our country, which helps facilitate the prevention process as well.
Harrison Mack.
Thank you, Chairperson. I think for my potential EV colleagues, some of the common qualities they have is firstly they are striving for excellence, as they clearly know that achieving LC standard is an essential goal for our coming term, and they have a strong clarity of why we have to achieve such goals to deliver quality exchange experience and also the member experience, and they are able to become a role model to lead their managers and also members. And I think that some of my EV colleagues are very strategic, and like Savannah or Dee sitting outside, while myself and also I think John and Thomas are evaluators that can give advice and comments on our coming strategies.
Nicholas Lowe.
In order to enhance the conversion from the OP sign-up to the EPs being accepted or matched, there is two kinds of initiatives. So the first one is
Clarification from Yanila.
So my question is actually after the matching phase, how you convert the people matches to the real life users. Because in your manifesto, your goal is 98 accepted and 8 realized. So how you convert that experience to
accepted by the company and the program has been accepted already. So unless they do not fill in the LTA and the necessary information, there will be they will have the chance to realize for realization. In order to help them to get matched after signing up, we have similar strategies in the field and also CP workshops. And other than that, there will be utilization of partnerships like communication with foreign LCs with what extra partners will be needed in order to be better for that and try to enhance the competitiveness of that EP.
At time 11:34, Chairperson received General Motion number 1, which reads that the warmest welcome is given to Gabriel Assumption, MCVP of Talent Management of AIESEC in Hong Kong, session 14 to session 2014 to 2015. So we have a proposer, therefore seconder, Justin Chi will propose to take the motion.
Thank you, Chairperson, and welcome, Gabe, for coming to our EGM. Thank you so much, and look forward to you challenging our candidates and help them to prepare better for the journey ahead. Yeah, thank you.
Seconder. Any general comment? If no, motion passes with acclamation. So Chairperson would like to draft the question list. So there will be 5 question quota. And so please raise your hand if you have a question. Brian, Justin, Savannah, Ryan, and Thomas. Brian.
Thank you, Chairperson. As a CVP, preparation work is very important. So Harrison, tell me the steps of organizing induction conference. Sammy, tell me the tasks that you would do after company meets. Hilda, tell me the tasks that you would do with your members and managers before company meets. Nicholas, tell me the steps of following up EP that to ensure they would apply for the ETNs.
Clarification from Harrison.
Yes, the induction conference. Think by yourself. For the members.
Time's up. Hilda Yan.
Thank you, Chairperson. Before company meetings, I suppose I first had received education on how to deal with employers, and then they need to make phone contacts from email to call. And after the company has agreed to meet them, we will bring our sales workers, which is focused on that particular field, to the meeting, and we need to research on the meeting and on the company and move out before we go. And we also need to prepare good CV samples for us to bring, to showcase our unique talent to
Candidates. Harrison Mack.
Thank you, Chairperson. For the induction conference, firstly, we have to set the dates throughout EV planning, like the calendar, to set which weekend to help, and then to see if TM standing top has a top. compromise on dates for the camp or not. And on the other hand, afterwards, the induction camp for AIESEC team would set main focus for the induction conference, like what the LQ going to deliver for the managers. And then I would start with the Gen team on designing and delivering sessions. And for conference committee, it would be started after I got the name because you have to book the venue as soon as possible to ensure the availability and also a low price. And the conference committee would be consist of managers and it would be following this year's structure. And I think that the date or the preparation should be done before we officially kickstart the recruitment.
Nicholas Lowe.
In order to make sure that the EP will apply for the program, there is two different components. The first one is ensure the frequent contact between the EP and also the EP guideline. And in the frequent contact, more customized TM letter and also presentation is to be given to the EP in order to ensure that.
Clarification from Banchan.
Yep. Thank you, Chairperson. I mean, what is your step? What would you do to ensure the besides tracking? Yes, your action step 2, the leaps, not the tracking part.
Besides tracking, the things that we do to ensure that EP will apply for the program is more customized services to offer to the EPs, like the more customized tier letter, including illustrable opportunities to that particular EP. And the second one is more tailor-made consultation to the EPS. Like if the EP is applying for education, like insight in the educational sector can be given to them in order to enhance their interest to apply for the program. The second one, as mentioned in the manifesto, I'm going to make cooperation with other LC for EP sharing.
Turning on.
I'm going to have 4 follow-up actions after the committee. The first one is I will have the follow-up email summarizing the key points of discussion in the committee. And the second one is I will have the JD collected in the committee so that I will use the JD to receive the JQ. And also I will call the committee responsible to complete the JQ for some information that I have not done. And for the third step, I will find more CVs that are suitable for the role and for the committee to see if they are suitable candidates. And for the fourth step, I will schedule interview meetings with the committee next week because as I estimate, we will have the first Skype interview within the week so that we will be able to have the second round of Skype meeting and Skype interview next week. So that's the
Thumbs up. New question from Justin.
Thank you, Chairperson. So can each of you list 3 major expenses in your functional area and tell me how adequate financial resources can actually help you achieve your plan?
Time's up, candidate. Harrison Mag.
The first major expense would be on organizing those events like introductory conference and also mass meetings and also possible conferences in there. Secondly, would be a subsidy. I think it belongs to TM is subsidy for IHP and also for participants attending international conferences or local conferences. And the third is on recruitment, like the expenses on telemarketing. And I think that how adequate financial resources can help on TM operation is to provide, like for, let's say for virtual conference, can provide a more comfortable environment with more facilities for us to conduct different types of events. And also to actually provide an incentive for our members to participate in more conferences.
Sammy Lam.
First of all, I have the first one is the traveling subsidy of members going to meetings because they spend maybe $20 on the central for the monthly. And for the second part is maybe we will invite some externals, not alumni, and it will cost some money to hire them to give training to our members. The third one is that I will have the EGM preparation seminar collaborating with our LC's mass meeting. And this one, I want to showcase some Hong Kong traditional culture, and so that I will add the element of Hong Kong food here, so that we may have some expenses to buy some Hong Kong food for the EP to try Hong Kong food.
Yan.
Thank you, Chairperson. I think the three main expenses will be subsidies for teaching, including on the self-goods, subsidies for, as I mentioned, for our members for going to meetings. And the second one is for IPS. The third one is hiring external coaches for our workshops. And so because I'm not very, I'm not sure your second question is whether I should provide a second one.
No, I mean, how can you make like?
Clarification from AIESEC.
What I mean is like, how can you make a proper investment for your own functional area so that when I give you the right amount of money, you can really use it to like execute your plan or leverage your plan. Understand? How would you spend in a simple way? How would you really spend the money if I give you the money, or make like a creative investment?
I think I won't be making actual investment for my structure, but it's the great expense to put to IPS. And then I think the subsidy part, we need to, it depends on a great amount, the money should be equally distributed in 3 parts. And then the subsidy part is the regular one. And then IPS, we need to, and then one for IPS and then go to regular.
Nicholas Low.
There will be actually 2 main areas of expenses of OGTF. So the first one is mostly about promotion, like the leaflet and also the handbills printed in order to like promote the program. And in this year, I think like more expenses is used for like printing the handbills as we have watched the forms in previous months. And also the second expenses will be used as like the material we used in the recruitment talk, as there are different refreshment and also material distributed to the participants. So there are some expenses like included in that events. And how to invest properly for the promotion is, I think we can base on the previous experiences, like is it effective to make advertisement online and for the post, or we just simply ask like to share the posts, which of them will be more effective. And I think based on this, share with people.
Time's up. Question from Savannah. Savannah Chen.
Thank you, Chairperson. So for Harrison, you have mentioned that there would be an LC working space in the manifesto, and I would like to know how it is going to work. Like for each month, is there going to be a co-working path, or are there going to be goals to be fulfilled through the working space? So this is the question. For Hilda and Sammy, so this is a situational question. So in case in company meetings, they are not really interested in offering TF, instead they want to offer BD opportunities like other partnerships. How will you react to this offer? And then for Nicholas, because you have mentioned in your manifesto that you would like to maintain current campus partnerships. Actually, the LC is also currently like they're engaging campus bodies to find more promotional channels or more support for GP. But then, how do you think it can work better, or what other new ideas that you can think of?
Candidate. And again.
Thank you for your question. I think it is very great that you guys will offer the opportunity to us. So I think we can schedule a follow-up meeting and seek for more information based on their offer. And we need to schedule a follow-up meeting right in the company. And I will also send you a message to them as they are one of ours. And then and then we can update them on our contract. And just to ensure that if they have the need for recruiting more international talent, we can offer help them. So I think for following up the media opportunity, I will give it back to for
Harrison Mack.
Thank you, Chairperson. For the LC working space, my idea is to talk, let's say, take classroom once a month. That shapes that it can be a space for cross department meetings or working space. It's like when it is OGV promotion team or OGT promotion team. Actually, OGV and PM can come together to discuss whether the common strategies of the common promotion. Because for this year, we have only one department meeting that is called OGV and PM. And through my interview of PM members, actually they would like to know more about OGV direction or newest action in order to promote more directly. And for non-peak months, actually it can be working space for different departments to discuss on the functional work, or it may be joined with LCFM to discuss.
Seminar.
First of all, in my manifesto 1.3, I have mentioned the sales package and with publicity. That is that we will have be an ER member and an IGT member going to company together and to upsell BD. For some potential BD partnerships, they may be having a trust on our IC on LC on AIESEC already, so that it's easier to establish a trustable mutual customer relationship and to upsell BD to persuade them to CTN and to give a discount on BD partnerships if they will relate to CTN. That is, in the whole, is the sales package.
Nicholas Law.
Previous partnership partnership of OGT and campus board, we focus on the emails and also the post spaces for promotion. And there is two initiatives for the community partnership. First is the subsidy for this program, like the allowance for the visa and so on, and also the subsidy for accommodation. And there is also another idea for partnership is that for some colleges, like for SAT, the students can complete a free practice or general education by going foreign exchanges. And we can see like is there any possibilities for using our programs as the systems for those free practices as well. This can really boost the students to be able to complete the program if this is aligned with the process of that college.
So due to the time limit, we'll have the last question from Ryan. Ryan.
Thank you, Chairperson. For Harrison, how could you raise the IC of OGT in next year? And for the others, how can you convince the student at CUHK that the internship program of AIESEC is better than other local internships offered by well-known local companies, which can also provide professional knowledge, network, and personal growth? Thank you.
Point of clarification from Peter Yan.
Yeah, local companies.
Peter Yan.
Thank you, Chairperson. So I think first we need to emphasize on our international exposure, which having internship in local does not provide. And then we need to prove the climate trend nowadays that employers would like to employ students that have been in overseas for working experience, and this can be one of our greatest selling point. And we can also tell them that they can choose. We have a great choice of countries for them to choose, and they can choose their jobs not according to their age, their study. So this high flexibility is also an upside for them.
Harrison Mack.
Thank you, Chairperson. To raise number of ISP, since the recruitment process, I would like to emphasize ISP as one of the key components of a complete AIESEC course of their experience. Because as when only AIESECers can join AIESEC exchange, actually the conversion rate is high. And I think that for IC share, the global rate can not limited to EPs that are going to GV, but also AIESEC especially. And I think that there would be a synergy with OGV a virtual promotion that would be like a short video sharing fund. Because this year for ISP sharing there are 8 packs, and I think video would be a more effective method. And also this year for the referral scheme or referring fee for ISECers to give discount to give away on program fee should be able to.
Time's up, Sandy Lam.
First of all, I would consider that Hong Kong is definitely the right place for them to start their own career. And also, it is the commercial center both in Asia Pacific and in the world. In some of the EPs I've introduced in Blue Sky, they have also told me that they want to start their own business in Asia Pacific. And Hong Kong is exactly the right place because we have tax and we have some like working in the startups in Hong Kong, we learn a lot of skills on how to develop. And the second part is the in the company. And that is how we can facilitate connect the personal goal to the things that they're working on and plus the leadership.
Nicholas Law.
From the experience here, we observed that students in CUHK are likely to be more passive and do not really have, most of them get first to for career planning. In order to tell them why do you have to have internship or we're planning to invite guests to online and also parents and employers to tell them why should students nowadays in Hong Kong have to have internship for, because there's a similar section in the employer tells them there are 30 series and 20 something of them do not have internship aboard and they will just screen it out first and to look at the series who have foreign internship experiences. I think the words from the current employers are much more convincing to students as students, especially in CUHK, are more likely to believe the words by employers and not just by students, because thus I think this
Hands up. At time 12 o'clock, Chairperson received procedural motion number 9, which reads that the first round of question and answer session for the local committee vice president candidate is concluded. May I have a proposal branch and second and Shannon Sandy will propose to speak on motion waive second and waive any general comment. If no motion passed unanimously. At time 12 o'clock, Chairperson received procedural motion number 10, which reads that the third election general meeting of AIESEC CUHK to be temporarily suspended. May I have a proposal? Jasmine Chair, second, and Shannon Sandy will propose to speak on motion waive second and waive any general comment. If no motion passed unanimously. Okay, so so now it's lunchtime. So roll call will begin at 12:50. Will be conducted at 1 o'clock, so please come in at 12:50.